Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Pretending to go bankrupt at the beginning, I was kicked out of the group chat by a classmate. Picking up his own drifting bottle from the future, Lin Zhe decisively sold all his assets, houses, and cars, and invested them in the futures market. Due to having no extra money around him, Lin Zhe pretended to be bankrupt and borrowed money from several close classmates. Lin Zhe. Taozi, my friend has gone bankrupt. Please lend me a few thousand yuan. Su Tao. I'm sorry, Lin Zhe. I just bought a car and I really don't have any money. Lin Zhe. Delay, I can't afford to eat anymore. Please treat me to a meal. Zhao Lei. Sorry, I have an appointment with my girlfriend tonight. Maybe another day. Faced with the rejection of those former good classmates, Lin Zhe was a bit confused. However, what left him speechless the most was that these classmates even sent their chat records to Junyang. Lin Zhe has gone bankrupt and is now in the process of borrowing money. Please take it easy. To avoid Lin Zhe borrowing money from everyone, I, as the ruler of the sheep, cannot remain indifferent. Ding, Lin Zhe has been kicked out of Chatting Junyang. Lin Zhe smiled when he saw this scene. The world is desolate, I hope you don't regret it in the future. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Listing remarks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Coming soon. This book was released on May 11th, and after 6 days, it finally reached the time to go online. The average daily update is around 20,000 words. A day is about the same, with 7 to 8 chapters. The numbers in each chapter are also around 2,500 words. To be honest, the data for this book during its free period is average. However, even so, the author is still desperately coding every day. For the sake of a never-ending surrender. It's about to be put on shelves, and now there are only over 4,000 flowers and not many monthly tickets. However, as long as there is a subscription, the author has motivation. It will be available tonight at 12 o'clock. Readers who have always supported the author, please give us a first order. Let the author know how many readers greatly support me. For this book, tonight is the time for a life and death decision. As long as the subscription is not too cumbersome or too difficult to afford, the author will diligently update it. Of course, once again, I would like to thank a reader who gave the author a reward of 1,000 points, which allowed the author to persist until it was listed. After being listed, the author will continue to work hard to update and maintain the previous update speed. Here, the author would like to once again thank the readers who have been following suit. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Commitment Letter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I spread rumors and guarantee that the signed work belongs to my own original work. I will strictly follow the Feilu Writers' Convention during the creation process, adhere to originality, and eliminate the following violations. If there are any violations, I am willing to bear all the consequences caused by this one. Ensure that the signed work belongs to one's own original work and does not involve plagiarism or plot plagiarism in Chinese translation. 2. Ensure that no third-party works or plot are plagiarized during the creative process. 3. Ensure that this work is first published and the only contracted website on Feilu Novel Network. 3. Ensure compliance with laws and regulations during the creative process, including but not limited to, violations such as not involving politics, not involving pornography, gambling, drugs, promoting cults, not ghostwriting, not blocking or abolishing manuscripts, not hosting, not selling works or accounts, etc. 4. Ensure that regardless of the word count of the work, the signed work must complete the plot, never end, and never stop. Unconsciously, it's time to put it on the shelves. In the past half month of being listed, the author's guaranteed minimum day has increased by 15,000 words. Here, the author requests subscription, automatic, and full subscription coming soon. This book was released on May 11th, and after 6 days, it finally reached the time to go online. The average daily update is around 20,000 words. A day is about the same, with 7 to 8 chapters. The numbers in each chapter are also around 2,500 words. To be honest, the data for this book during its free period is average. However, even so, the author is still desperately coding every day. For the sake of a never-ending surrender. It's about to be put on shelves, and now there are only over 4,000 flowers and not many monthly tickets. However, as long as there is a subscription, the author has motivation. It will be available tonight at 12 o'clock. Readers who have always supported the author, please give us a first order. Let the author know how many readers greatly support me. For this book, tonight is the time for a life and death decision. As long as the subscription is not too cumbersome or too difficult to afford, the author will diligently update it. Of course, once again, I would like to thank a reader who gave the author a reward of 1,000 points, which allowed the author to persist until it was listed. After being listed, the author will continue to work hard to update and maintain the previous update speed. Here, the author would like to once again thank the readers who have been following suit. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 1. Future Self. You are listening at novelfull.audio. DDD, hello, are you a girl paper or a Han paper? Lying at his girlfriend Yi Xinyan's home, Lin Zhe held her phone and looked at the screen with a smile on her face. He is playing with a drift bottle. This has been his habit for many years. When you have free time, make new friends and pass the boring time. After all, he is not an internet-addicted teenager. I don't like playing games at home every day. I am the future of you. However, what made Lin Zhe somewhat helpless was that the other party's answer was unreasonable. Come up and say something that left Lin Zhe stunned. What about you in the future? Why don't you say that you were me yesterday? Hey buddy, don't make a fuss. Are you going to tell me next that my bank card is going to be hacked and I need to transfer the money to a certain card number? Lin Zhe rolled his eyes and replied. Really, the owner of this drifting bottle today is a bit of a sand sculpture. Can't it be any scammer? Return me to the future. This guy has a brain pit, right? I am truly the future you. When you were 6 years old, out of curiosity, you ripped off the pants of the girl next door. When you were 10 years old, you threw a stone at a wild dog on the roadside and ended up being chased several hundred meters by the dog. When you first masturbated, it was when you were 16 years old and accidentally saw a movie. And at this moment, you are thinking in your heart, the future of me. This guy has a brain pit, right? Quickly, the other side replied with a bunch of messages coming over. Lie down. Groove. Looking at this information, Lin Zhe was dumbfounded. Because of these pieces of information, it can be said that he is the only one in the world who knows. He never told anyone. How did this guy know? Is it really the future self? But it's impossible, it's too surreal. No, no. I must have been drunk at some point and said something I shouldn't have said, but by chance, the whole person heard me. So, the other party only found out. The other party must be someone they are familiar with. That's right, that's it. Are you thinking now that you must have been drunk to accidentally reveal these embarrassing things? Alright, I'll give you a small benefit first. To increase your trust in me. Listen up, there's a stock tomorrow with a good increase. At 9 o'clock, you bought him in. Then, before the closing of the day after tomorrow afternoon, only sell it. The final increase for this stock is 26%. Soon, this guy who claimed to be his future self sent another message. Lin Zhe was stunned when he saw it. Are you so accurate? Should I give it a try? At this moment, Lin Zhe fell into a dilemma. You must be thinking now whether or not to give it a try. Actually, you can really give it a try. After all, even if the stock falls, there won't be too much loss. Do you think so? Quickly, the other party sent several more messages. Upon seeing this, Lin Zhe suddenly felt a bit creepy. Sleeping trough, how does this guy know what's on my mind? Is he a master of psychological prediction? Should I give it a try? Anyway, give it a try with tens of thousands, what if it comes true? Thinking of this, Lin Zhe secretly made a decision. Even if there is a loss, it is only a loss of a few hundred or even a few thousand yuan. Not important. Lin Zhe can still afford this loss. Okay, I'll try it out tomorrow. Lin Zhe replied to the past. Hee, then we can chat when you make money. The other party quickly replied. Upon seeing this, Lin Zhe stopped chatting with the other party. He plans to remain silent until the results are out. The next morning, Lin Zhe directly purchased this stock according to the guy who claimed to be his future self. Lin Zhe bought this stock at a price of 12.8 yuan per share. I bought a total of 5,000 shares and spent him about 64,000 yuan. If the increase mentioned by the other party is really 26%. The final price of this stock will rise to around 16.12. I can also make a small profit myself. Now we only need to wait until tomorrow to know if what this guy said is true. If it's true, at least what this guy said will have some credibility. Anyway, it will bring enough benefits to oneself. Quickly, more than a day passed. In the blink of an eye, it was the afternoon of the third day. Lin Zhe looked at the stock market and was surprised by the price of the stock he had purchased. At this point, the price of this stock has reached 16.11. At a distance of 16.12, there is only a price of 0.01 left. Lin Zhe looked at the time. There are still over 30 minutes left until today's closing. I don't know if this 0.01 can rise. Anyway, he won't forget what the other person said. Sell the stock before closing. Hiss. It really increased by 26%. This guy can't really be his future self, can he? About 10 minutes later, when the stock price really reaches 16.12. Lin Zhe took a deep breath. At the same time, my scalp also feels numb. You should know that the stock market is constantly changing. You can see that this stock will rise, that's a skill. But be precise to when it will rise, how much it will eventually rise, and even to what extent it will rise. This is impossible. Unless he can foresee the future. In other words, this guy could really be his future self. Soon, Lin Zhe forced himself to calm down. The rest will be discussed later. The top priority is to sell the stocks. Sell 5,000 shares of stock at a price of 16.12. Lin Zhe received a total of 80,600 yuan. Subtract 64,000 yuan that you needed yourself. This wave, Lin Zhe made a net profit of 16,600 yuan. If you deduct some transaction fees, you can also earn 16,000 yuan. Looking at the 16,000 yuan he had earned, Lin Zhe fell into contemplation. Earning 16,000 a day was indeed somewhat unexpected for him. Ding dong. How's it going? You should be a bit convinced of what I'm saying now. Just as Lin Zhe was stunned, his phone rang again. It's the message sent by the self-proclaimed future. I do believe it a bit. However, this is not enough to prove that you are the future me. You need more things to prove. After thinking for a moment, Lin Zhe made a decision. After all, the other party is their future self, which is too exaggerated. This is equivalent to crossing time and space. Lin Zhe believes that before thoroughly confirming the other party's identity, you can't be too careful yourself. Oh, of course I know that. Don't worry, let's take it slow. I will make you believe it. The other party sent another message. From his tone, it was evident that he had a clear mind. If one is an accident, then 2, 3, or even several times can be so precise. Then Lin Zhe should believe that the owner of the drift bottle is his future self. There is no other explanation besides this one. After all, even stock gods cannot have precise knowledge of the price fluctuations of each stock. So, what are you going to prove to me next? Lin Zhe took a deep breath and slowly said. New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 2. It's all hit again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Your current girlfriend is still Yi Xinyan. Alright, next, I'll use her to increase your trust in me. The other party quickly sent another message. Using Xinyan. What are you planning to do? Lin Zhe frowned. If the other party asked his girlfriend to do something dangerous, he won't agree. No, I don't need to do anything. But predicting the future. Yi Xinyan will come out of the room in 10 minutes. She wants to get a 9-valent vaccine, and the price is 6,400 yuan. This self-proclaimed future self began to prophesy once again. Xinyan wants to get the 9-valent vaccine. Lin Zhe was taken aback for a moment, then nodded skeptically. Anyway, it's only about 10 minutes. Just wait. So, Lin Zhe waited quietly. The other party didn't send any more messages. In the blink of an eye, 10 minutes had passed. Click. The sound of the door reminded me, representing my girlfriend walking out the door. Lin Zhe saw that it was indeed 10 minutes. Now, he is really a bit shocked. The prophecy is correct again. Baby, what are you doing? I play with my phone as soon as I come back, and I don't know if you care about me. After walking out of the room, Yi Xinyan started acting coquettish towards Lin Zhe. Well, there's nothing busy. It's just some company affairs. Lin Zhe's eyes flickered for a moment, then he smiled and said. Baby, I want to go for a 9-price deal recently. Can you help me make an appointment? Yi Xinyan also cared, but continued to say to Lin Zhe. 9 price, what is that thing? Lin Zhe was taken aback for a moment, then pretended not to know why and asked. In fact, his heart had already stirred up towering waves. The other party really guessed right. 10 minutes, my girlfriend is asking for a 9 price. Not a bad one. Oh, 9-valent is HVP vaccine. Just search online and you'll find out. Moreover, the price is not expensive, only a few thousand yuan. Yi Xinyan said coquettishly again. Yi Xinyan knows that her boyfriend has recently made a lot of money through stock trading. Although I don't know exactly how much, it's not a big problem to come up with a 9 price for a few thousand yuan. Can I know exactly how much it is? Lin Zhe asked very seriously. When he had some free time just now, he checked the information about Zhou price. The prices vary from region to region and from hospital to hospital. So, he needs to ask clearly, why are you asking so carefully? Don't you want to give it to me? Upon hearing this, Yi Xinyan immediately became angry. Shouldn't it be that the price is too expensive, so don't give it to me? What do you think? Am I that kind of person? It's just a few thousand yuan, it's nothing to me at all. I just want to know the specific price and then transfer the money to you. Lin Zhe felt a bit helpless. I have to explain it a bit. So it's like this, then I'm wrong about you. The price I booked is 6,400 yuan. You can call me. Upon hearing that Lin Zhe was not about to refuse, Yi Xinyan immediately laughed happily. Okay, I'll call you now. You can make an appointment. Upon seeing this, Lin Zhe immediately agreed. Then, the newly earned money was transferred 6,400 yuan to Yi Xinyan. Oh my, you're really a straight man. I said 6,400 yuan, so you really transferred 6,400 yuan to me. You can't turn a little more, do you not love me anymore? Seeing that Lin Zhe only transferred 6,400 yuan to herself, Yi Xinyan immediately became unhappy. Okay, it's all my fault. Pay attention next time. At this moment, Lin Zhe was in a state of shock. Where did you pay attention to these things? He knows that if Yi Xinyan is not allowed to calm down, Baozhuan will say some messy things again. So, in order to have a quiet environment for thinking, he can only do this. Hehe, it's up to you to admit your mistake and have a good attitude. I'll forgive you. Yi Xinyan nodded in satisfaction and then left. Ding dong. After Yi Xinyan left, his phone rang with a beep again. His phone rang again. He immediately opened it and took a look. Sure enough, it was sent by the person who claimed to be his future self. After seeing the information, Lin Zhe's face immediately changed. Then I couldn't help but look out the window. Because the guy who claimed to be his future self prophesied another thing. This matter happened on a street not far from their community. At present, Lin Zhe rushed out of the door without saying a word. In this self-proclaimed future message, he said that there will be a car accident not far from the community in 10 minutes. A young man, riding an electric bike, accidentally hit a Lamborghini. Then, this young man will kneel down directly to the owner of Lamborghini and beg for mercy, claiming that they cannot afford to pay. And he also expressed his family's difficulties with a sorrowful expression. In the end, Lamborghini owners chose not to pursue the matter. Let go of this young man. Of course, this is not the most shocking yet. The most incredible thing is, when the owner of this Lamborghini leaves, the young man kneeling on the ground begging for mercy stood up with a disdainful expression on his face. The sorrowful expression on his face just now has long disappeared. Still boasting proudly to the people around him, saying that his acting skills are good. Try hitting a Rolls-Royce again next time. And as soon as these words were spoken, they also amazed those around them. This kid has a future. To get to the point. It took Lin Zhe 7 or 8 minutes to run from downstairs to outside the community. Then, he began to wait quietly. While waiting, I looked at my phone. Calculating time. Quickly, it's 10 minutes away. Lin Zhe widened his eyes and carefully looked around the community. Buzz. Suddenly, an obvious engine noise from a sports car came from the front. Lin Zhe quickly looked over. Sure enough, it was a Lamborghini, thinking it was coming from his side. Subsequently, Lin Zhe saw a young man riding an electric scooter speeding over from the side of the road. And then the next second. Bang! A collision sound attracted the attention of everyone around. Really bumped into it. It's exactly what the guy who claimed to be my future said. Lin Zhe's face froze instantly when he saw this scene. At this moment, he didn't know what words to use to describe the shock in his heart. My girlfriend's 9 price before, and the price is also included. Maybe, the other party installed some surveillance cameras to monitor their girlfriend's phone, maybe. However, the prediction of this car accident is too accurate. Lamborghini, a young man riding an electric bike. All hit. Next, we need to see if the future development of things is the same as what that guy said. Sure enough, there's a real possibility that this guy might from the future. New book upload, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Monthly Pass. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 3. Confirmation, this is the future myself. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to. Please forgive me. My family has elderly parents and young children waiting for me to take care of. I really can't afford to compensate for the loss of your car. Brother, please do me a favor and let me go. The next second, in Lin Zhe's stunning gaze, the young man riding an electric scooter knelt down directly at the owner of Lamborghini. And, while crying and pleading for mercy, he kowtowed. This scene is exactly the same as what the guy said. Okay, I won't hold you accountable anymore. Be careful next time. The owner of the Lamborghini immediately softened his heart when he saw this young man so humble, so he didn't pursue it. Anyway, he doesn't need this little money either. Thank you very much, big brother. Wishing you peace, prosperity, and smooth sailing. Upon hearing that the Lamborghini owner was no longer being pursued, the young man immediately exclaimed with gratitude. Then, amidst his countless thanks, the Lamborghini owner went straight away. Obviously, I went to repair the car. Pooh, it's really unlucky. Surprisingly, I bumped into a luxury car. Fortunately, my acting skills passed the test. Otherwise, if you really want me to compensate, I really can't afford it. However, my acting skills are so good, should I switch to a Rolls-Royce for another collision next time? After Lamborghini leaves. The young man stood up cursing and cursing. While speaking, he also boasted about his acting skills. This divine turn stunned everyone around. Of course, what is even more shocking is Lin Zhe. Kneeling down to apologize, the car owner forgives, superb acting skills, and a Rolls-Royce collision. These pieces of information are all here again. Ding dong. At this point, Lin Zhe received another message. It was sent by the person who claimed to be his future self. How about it? You should have believed a bit in what you said to me now. Upon seeing the message sent by the other party, Lin Zhe fell silent. He has deeply experienced the ability of the prophet. However, this is not enough to make him believe that the other person is his future self. Next, he needs to test a few more times. After all, in such a situation, no matter how cautious you are, it is only right. Quickly, half a month has passed. Over the past half-month, the other party has truly shown him what it means to be in profit. Not only are things that haven't happened before, they can all be predicted very accurately. On the stock market, Lin Zhe also gained a lot of profitable future information. For example, which stocks will rise or fall. With this information, Lin Zhe earned almost 200,000 yuan from the stock market in just half a month. Because the other party can accurately predict stock information and some major events that may occur in the future. At this point, Lin Zhe already believed that he was his future self. Ding dong. At this point, the phone sends another message. It comes from a drift bottle. You now believe that I am the future you. So next, there's a big wave of benefits for you. More than half a month later, there will be an unprecedented rainstorm in Shandong. This rainstorm will cause floods and destroy many crops. Among them, garlic was completely destroyed. At that time, the international garlic price will skyrocket. It will increase several times. Seize the opportunity and sell all the valuable things, including the house and car. If nothing unexpected happens this wave, you can earn hundreds of millions. Lin Zhe opened it and saw that it was sent by himself in the future. Looking at the message sent by the other party, Lin Zhe was instantly stunned. He only saw the last sentence. Make billions. Lin Zhe only pondered for a moment before deciding to vote for him. He can sell his car and house first. Then, on the night before the flood broke out, buy garlic futures. In this way, he can move forward and backward freely. If the flood really breaks out. So it goes without saying, he definitely made a fortune. Even if the flood doesn't break out. The price of garlic has been stable recently and has been increasing slightly. He won't lose either. Something unexpected is really going to happen. You can also move forward and backward freely. At present, Lin Zhe no longer hesitated and started selling houses and cars directly. In the blink of an eye, more than half a month had passed. Finally, on the last day, we managed to gather 5 million. Everything is ready, then we'll sit and wait to make money. Lin Zhe, who had been busy for almost half a month, collapsed at his girlfriend's house with a satisfied smile on his face. Lao Lin, I have already scraped together 5 million. When should I enter next? Holding his phone, Lin Zhe began to contact the future Lin Zhe. Because Lin Zhe comes from the future, he is referred to as Lao Lin. Otherwise, if you keep calling him Lin Zhe, you will also feel strange. You can start now. The flood will come around early in the morning. And these days, because the global demand for garlic is increasing. So, prices have been slowly increasing. I believe you can also discover this. Future Lin Zhe quickly replied to Lin Zhe. Drifting bottles are just this good thing. Once you find them, you can keep chatting. Well, that's okay, I'll go buy it now. Lin Zhe nodded and then opened his phone to start operating. He has already registered for foreign securities companies. And after 5 million soft coins were received, they were directly exchanged into US dollars. The current exchange rate between the US dollar and soft coin is around 6.69. 5 million soft girl coins, at an exchange rate of 6.69, are approximately 747,000 US dollars. At that time, Lin Zhe just scraped together a little more and got 750,000 US dollars. Besides, the maximum leverage offered by this securities company is 50 times the leverage. Because it is copying foreign futures, the leverage is given relatively high. Unlike in China, the amount given is insufficient. Actually, if Lin Zhe had a few $1,000,000, that requires a leverage of 100 times, and there is no problem. Fortunately, after opening 50 times the leverage, Lin Zhe's purchasing power of $750,000 directly increased to $37.5 million. Next, without saying a word, he directly bought garlic futures bonds. The international price of garlic today is $0.83 US dollars per kilogram. Compared to the initial 80 cents, it's 3 cents more. However, Lin Zhe is not together regarding this. Without hesitation, I directly bought all $37.5 million in garlic bonds. Finally, Lin Zhe received 45.18 million kilograms of garlic bonds. Next, for every little increase in the price of garlic, it can earn huge returns. Of course, if the price of garlic drops, then all of his funds may be gone. After all, under 50 times leverage, $750,000 is really not worth it. Slightly drop by 1 or 2 cents or 2 or 3 cents. I'm afraid they will all be forced to close their positions. However, Lin Zhe is not worried at all about this. He has future information. I know that the price of garlic will only rise and not fall recently. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sold all their cars, houses, and other assets, betting on entering the futures market. The feeling of knowing the direction of the future situation is really great. New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 4. Flood Outbreak. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Get the work done. After exchanging the $37.5 million after 50 times leverage for 45.18 million kilograms of garlic bonds, Lin Zhe stretched lazily. Next, we will officially verify the owner of this mysterious drift bottle. Is it time for my future self? After all, this kind of natural disaster is not something that humans can predict. If there is no outbreak, then he plans to immediately clear his position and withdraw from the garlic market. Then, directly blacklist and delete this so-called future self. If the flood really breaks out. So it shows that the other party is really their future self. Subsequently, Lin Zhe began browsing the internet, constantly flipping through information. Especially regarding the news from Shandong. If Lin Zhe's news is accurate in the future. On the Shandong side, floods will completely erupt tonight. At that time, many crops will be destroyed. For other crops, Lin Zhe doesn't care. What he truly cares about is the condition of garlic. After all, I have invested all my wealth in garlic futures. If floods don't occur, then I need to hurry up and clear the warehouse myself. 11 p.m. at 12 o'clock a.m. 1 a.m. time has passed by hour. At the moment when Lin Zhe was so sleepy that he was about to fall asleep. The information that Lin Zhe had been looking forward to finally appeared online. These videos are all posted by netizens in Shandong region. The content of the information is that because of the continuous rainstorm in Shandong, the flood broke out half an hour ago, and many places were flooded, causing serious losses. It seems that the future information is not wrong. The flood really broke out tonight. In this way, garlic, as the main crop, is unlikely to be spared. Tomorrow, we can wait for the international garlic prices to skyrocket. After seeing the news he wanted to know, Lin Zhe also breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. Then, with a satisfied smile, he fell asleep. He stayed up so late that he was already exhausted. In addition, she had a big argument with Yi Xinyan and even broke up. It also made her mentally exhausted. Now, he just wants to take a deep sleep. Everything else, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning when we wake up. Lin Zhe is really tired, and as soon as he touches the pillow, he immediately falls asleep. The next morning, Lin Zhe got up early. Sure enough, the international price of garlic has been rising. Starting from 83 cents per kilogram at the time of purchase, after one night, it has risen to the current 98 cents. In just one night, it increased by $0.15. For Lin Zhe, this is definitely a piece of good or bad news. Immediately, Lin Zhe clenched his fist vigorously. He is going to make a fortune this time. By the way, since you have made money, you cannot forget your good friend. Thinking of this, Lin Zhe immediately took out his phone, found a person named Su Tao, and sent him a message. This is Su Tao, a classmate of Lin Zhe during his university years, and his relationship has always been good. Although it has been 2 years since graduating from university, they are still closely connected because they are developing in the same city. In addition, there is another one called Zhao Lei. Usually, Lin Zhe calls him Delay. Taozi, I have an opportunity to make money for you. Do you want it? Lin Zhe edited the information and immediately sent it over. An opportunity to make money. What opportunity? Su Tao was taken aback for a moment, then curiously replied to the message. Speculation in international futures. Lin Zhe chuckled. Sleeping trough, are you crazy? Unexpectedly playing futures, that thing, even if it fluctuates slightly, it could be accompanied by a bottom-up trend. Sorry, I can't afford to play with that thing. Su Tao shook his head wildly. Speculation in futures. He still has self-awareness. He is simply not suitable for working people like him. Su Tao, believe me, I have insider information. I can definitely make money. Lin Zhe sent a message with a hint of excitement. With future information in hand. Whether it's the stock market or futures. He has complete information to walk horizontally. I'm sorry, it's not that I don't believe you. But this thing carries too much risk. So, I won't play with you anymore. Su Tao refused without hesitation. I even felt in my heart whether Lin Zhe had taken the wrong medicine. How do you feel, like a scammer? Okay, since you don't believe it, then there's nothing I can do. Okay, lend me some money. All my money is invested in the futures market. I can't take it out temporarily. Now I only have 1,000 yuan all over my body. I won't be able to receive the money until next month. Lin Zhe stopped sending messages to explain the situation. In fact, he had already subtly revealed the inside story to Su Tao. However, since Su Tao doesn't believe it, then I will make money myself. I can't blame him for not saying it in advance. What kind of thing? Have you invested all your money in it? Are you joking with me? Su Tao widened his eyes and said incredulously. Of course I'm not joking with you anymore. Not only did I have all my savings, but I also sold my house and car. We all invested in it together. Alright, let's not say that anymore. You lend me 10,000 yuan first. Let me postpone this month before we talk. At that time, I will repay you with interest and treat you to a big meal. Lin Zhe smiled and sent several messages to Su Tao. He certainly has no doubt about whether he can make money. After all, this is the information I will reveal to him in the future. I'm sorry, Lin Zhe. I just bought a car and I really don't have any money on me. You can ask someone else. However, the following message from Su Tao made Lin Zhe couldn't help but frown. After some contemplation, he vaguely guessed why Su Tao didn't borrow money. Probably afraid of completely dying in futures and unable to turn around. Then, I couldn't afford to pay him back. So I won't borrow it. Su Tao, it's not like that. It's just 10,000 yuan. Even if I don't have it, I will still let my parents give it to you. Don't forget, I have also helped you a lot before. And, are you so certain that I can't make a profit on futures? Lin Zhe took a deep breath and slowly said. Is it so realistic between people? In the past, he helped Su Tao a lot. I also lent him money several times. I borrowed a few thousand when I was young, and even 10 or 20,000 when I was old. But now, when I borrow money from him, unexpectedly rejected. Are you so afraid that you won't be able to pay back the money? New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. Feilu's novel, Fei Wants You to Look Good. Chapter 5. I am kind enough to help you make money, but you think I am a scammer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I know you've helped me a lot, but I don't have much money right now. You know, my monthly salary is only 10,000 yuan. After buying a car, I have to repay the car loan, so I can't even borrow money from you. To be honest, I'm prepared to borrow money from you. Su Tao continued to fabricate his own lies. Actually, he didn't even buy a car. These are just excuses for not wanting to borrow money. And, one thing, Lin Zhe is right. He did feel that Lin Zhe would die in futures. Because at this moment, Lin Zhe looked like a scammer trying to trick his friends. Aren't those scams circulating online all about insider information? So, at this moment, Lin Zhe was already hooked on the scammer in Su Tao's heart. If Lin Zhe knew, he would definitely be speechless. I was kind enough to help you make money, but you thought I was a scammer. You are really my good classmate. Alright, stop talking. If you don't borrow, then don't borrow. Let's just say that for now. Lin Zhe was too lazy to continue sending messages to Su Tao. No one believes what they say. So what does he have in mind? Sweeping away his depressed mood, Lin Zhe contacted his other friend, Zhao Lei. Delay, are you here or not? Come out and have a meal. Opening the address book, Lin Zhe found Zhao Lei's phone number and dialed directly. Zhao Lei, also a college classmate of Lin Zhe, is also developing in this city. Usually, Lin Zhe, Zhao Lei, and Su Tao have close contact. They are all in the same city. The reason why I came to Zhao Lei was to complain to him. Su Tao said he didn't trust himself. Sorry, Lin Zhe. I have an appointment with my girlfriend tonight, maybe another day. However, to Lin Zhe's great surprise, Zhao Lei, who used to come out as soon as he called out, chose to refuse this time. Moreover, I still use the excuse of having an appointment with my girlfriend. So, when did you, a guy who has been single since birth for over 20 years, have a girlfriend? The next second, Lin Zhe reacted. Zhao Lei's tone of voice was very abnormal just now. Has a clear sense of alienation. Based on their previous relationship, even if Zhao Lei finds a girlfriend, he says he has an appointment. The tone of speech cannot be so distant. I should be proud. After all, the single life of mother and fetus has ended. But now, Lin Zhe couldn't hear the feeling of estrangement. Su Tao told you about me. Lin Zhe doesn't need to think to know why Zhao Lei has distanced himself. It must be Su Tao stirring up trouble in front of Zhao Lei. I think I will definitely die in futures. So, let Zhao Lei distance himself. When it comes to avoiding losing money on futures, you may end up borrowing money from them. However, what makes Lin Zhe feel more helpless is: how long has this been? Has it been 10 minutes? Zhao Lei already knows his own business. It can only be said that Su Tao is too enthusiastic. I don't know how many people know they have gone bankrupt in less than 10 minutes. No, I don't know about your speculation in futures. Zhao Lei quickly denied it. Lin Zhe suddenly became speechless. I didn't even mention trading futures. Are you saying this now? Isn't there no silver in this place of 300 taels? I exposed myself. Cough, what's that? Lin Zhe, let's not contact each other in the future. My girlfriend said she doesn't want me to have more contact with you. Let's just say that, hang up. Doodle doodle. Perhaps I realized that I had slipped my tongue. Zhao Lei quickly found another reason. Then, without waiting for Lin Zhe to say anything, he hung up the phone directly. This made Lin Zhe on the other side shake his head bitterly. These so-called friends are really chilling. Isn't it just speculation in futures? Do you need to avoid me? At this moment, Lin Zhe suddenly felt a very helpless feeling. I feel that I have lived in vain these years. One by one, they didn't trust themselves and were afraid that they would die in futures, so they borrowed money from them. What a failure. Ding dong. Ding dong. Just as Lin Zhe was sighing, countless prompts came from the phone. Click on it and it belongs to the college student group. However, before Lin Zhe could even point in and take a look, he discovered something very awkward. He was kicked out of the classmate chat group. And the person who kicked him was the leader of this university classmate group, their class monitor. Wang Hongyu. Lin Zhe clicked on the chat group and flipped it up. Quickly, Lin Zhe knew why he had been kicked. It turned out that Su Tao and Zhao Lei had actually put their entire wealth in the university chat group to promote their selling of cars and houses, as well as their speculation on futures. That's also why university chat groups that haven't had a single message for several months in previous years have instantly become 99+. In order to increase the trust of his classmates, Su Tao also posted his chat records with him in the group. And he also said in the group that Lin Zhe is now a scammer, deceiving everyone to invest in futures. Let everyone stay away from him to avoid being deceived by Lin Zhe. And the reason why he posted these messages in the group. It's also to make students wary and not want anyone to be deceived by Lin Zhe. Lin Zhe is a scammer. He even sold his house and car to invest in futures. Is he crazy? TSK, when I thought about Lin Zhe in college, he was also considered a prominent figure. Not only was he handsome, his grades were also good, and after graduation, he had a good income. Unexpectedly, he became a scammer. To tell everyone, as far as I know, Lin Zhe has already borrowed money from many people. In order to avoid him borrowing money from other people in the group and deceiving others, I suggest kicking him out of this chat group. Do you have any objections? No problem, I don't want to be deceived by him. Kick it, I don't want to run into people who cheat money everywhere like this. Agree, people like Lin Zhe cannot continue to be in the group. What if someone falls for it? Okay, everyone agrees, then I'll kick him. It's better to say goodbye, after all, classmates are the same. Yeah, that's too inhumane, isn't it? Alright, let's vote and decide. Those who agree to kick out should shout 1, while those who disagree should shout 2. 1, 1. 1, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, don't worry, most people agree, so I kicked it. Class monitor Lu Hongyu, kicked you out of the chat group. That's all for the news. Because with Lin Zhe being kicked, he couldn't see the chat records that followed. No. Su Tao, are you with Zhao Lei? I still want to take you to make money together. As a result, you actually treated me like a scammer. Isn't that even worth promoting in university groups? As for being so excellent, I am truly convinced. Lin Zhe widened his eyes and thought silently. Subsequently, a deep disdain was revealed. Today you are indifferent to me. Tomorrow, I will make you unable to climb high. It won't take long, at most 1 month, to clear my garlic bonds. At that time, you can earn at least tens of millions, or even 100 million. And it's still in US dollars. I hope that when you find out, you won't regret it. Don't lick your face and come to me for help. Especially Su Tao and Zhao Lei. It also made him see the faces of the two people clearly. What kind of good friend, what kind of good classmate. I didn't even understand the situation, so I was anxious to sever ties with him. Most importantly, these two people are also tarnishing his reputation in front of others. This is too much. Such a person, it's okay to break off ties. No need to come and go in the future. New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 6. $23 million a day. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the blink of an eye, 3 days have passed. Lin Zhe hasn't gone out much in the past 3 days. I have been closely monitoring the international garlic futures prices. Hungry for takeout, thirsty for mineral water. If it's not necessary, he doesn't plan to leave this rental house for the next month. As predicted by Lin Zhe in the future. Because floods broke out in Shandong. This dealt a devastating blow to the garlic that was originally intended for export. Therefore, the international price of garlic began to increase the next day. 3 days have passed. The international price of garlic has increased from the original 83 cents to the current $1.56. In just 3 days, the price has almost doubled. Lin Zhe was overjoyed by this in his heart. You should know that under 50 times the leverage, for every penny increase in garlic price, it can earn tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. Nowadays, the price of garlic has almost doubled. At this point, if Lin Zhe chooses to sell the garlic bonds, he can sell 45.18 million kilograms of garlic bonds at a sky-high price of $70 million US. Deducting costs and some miscellaneous handling fees, Lin Zhe can earn at least $69 million US. And this, it's only been 3 days. If $69 million US is divided by 3, it will be $23 million US per day. If only based on the income of these 3 days, Lin Zhe's speed of making money is definitely among the top in the world. However, Lin Zhe wouldn't be so foolish as to sell the garlic bonds now. He knows that the price of garlic can rise to $2.8 US per kilogram in half a month, and 1 month later, the final price is $3.6 US per kilogram. If we sell these bonds now, Lin Zhe will be really foolish. You should know, if calculated based on the price of $3.6 US per kilogram. Lin Zhe's 45.18 million kilograms of garlic bonds can be sold for over $1 billion US. How much soft currency is it for over $1 billion US? At least 700 million. The small goal mentioned by isolation old Wang is only 1 billion. And what about the money he earns? 6 times more than the small target. It's 7 times more than 1 billion. I can't do it anymore, just calm down, calm down. It's just 7 billion yuan. My future will definitely be even richer. I need to get used to this speed of making money. After being excited, Lin Zhe gradually regained his composure. Fortunately, Lin Zhe's psychological resilience is relatively strong. If ordinary people knew this, they would soon receive a staggering 7 billion yuan. I'm afraid I was already excited and fainted. Maybe they need to be sent to the hospital for rescue. Ding ling ling. Just as Lin Zhe has been closely monitoring international garlic prices. He received a phone call. Picking up his phone, he saw that it was his father Lin Tianheng calling. Dad, why do you have time to call me today? Isn't the company busy? After the phone was connected, Lin Zhe asked curiously. Son, have you been very short of money lately? Do you want me to give you some? After the phone was connected, Lin Tianheng hesitated for a moment and then slowly said. Dad, where did you hear that I'm short of money? Lin Zhe has a gloomy expression on his face. No, the news spread too quickly. Do you even know your own dad? I don't know who told him. If Dad knows, does Mom also know? Don't worry who I heard from, just tell me if you're short of money. Lin Tianheng spoke seriously. Yes, at first I was really short of money. At that time, your son and I had only 1,000 yuan left all over my body. Fortunately, a friend lent me thousands of yuan. Now, I'm not short of money either. Lin Zhe quickly said. Of course, to cover up my embarrassment. He has no friends and said he has a friend who lent him money. Actually, he only has 1,000 yuan left in his pocket now. I'm afraid it's not just that. I also heard that you even sold the house we bought for you. Also, your newly purchased car has been sold. What exactly is going on? Lin Tianheng asked again. This time, Lin Zhe is completely numb. These messengers are too powerful, right? Not only do I know I'm short of money, but I also know that my house and car have been sold. Su Tao, you are really impressive as the initiator. Lin Zhe murmured in silence. If it weren't for Su Tao being the first to spread it. How could this rumor become increasingly outrageous now? Dad, where are the house and car? I did sell them. I'm really short of money now. The reason why I sell my house and car is because I am optimistic about a project that requires a lot of money. I only sold my house and car in order to maximize profits. Now this money has been invested in the project. Next, it's time to harvest the fruits. By the way, Dad, don't tell anyone about my iron investment project. I also want to see how many people really want to see a joke. Lin Zhe explained with a smile. I explained the process of the matter in detail. Lin Zhe has nothing to hide from his father. So it's like this. I heard some people say that your investment failed and you have already gone bankrupt. I'm so worried about it. Lin Tianheng finally felt at ease after listening to Lin Zhe's explanation. God knows how anxious he was when he first heard these news. I'm afraid my son won't be able to accept the blow and do something bad. I'll go, this rumor is also spreading through time, isn't it reliable? Lin Zhe said somewhat helplessly. I have gained a clear understanding of the power of rumors. It goes without saying that it must have been someone else who heard their news and added fuel to their understanding. Told others. Another person added fuel and vinegar before telling another person. Then, after adding countless embellishments, it was finally heard by my father. Then in my father's ear, I became bankrupt after investing in futures. Yeah, these rumors are really harmful to people. By the way, if you're not busy these days, come back home. Your mother is bored at home, but she often thinks about you. Lin Tianheng called to ask if his son was short of money. By the way, may I ask why we sell cars and houses, as well as what bankruptcy is all about? Now that we know the reason, we don't plan to ask any more questions. He originally called to pay his son several thousand yuan for living expenses. Relieve my son's financial pressure. Now that I know my son no longer needs it, I won't bring up this matter. Okay, then you can ask my mom to tidy up my old house and I'll go back today or tomorrow. I plan to stay a few more days when I go back this time. Lin Zhe only thought for a moment before agreeing. And I have decided to live with my parents. Originally, he planned not to rent out the house these days. However, considering that there is currently not much money left in hand. So he agreed to Lin Tianhang and planned to go home and stay. Anyway, the price of international garlic can be seen in rental houses. You can also watch it at your own parents' house. Besides, after returning to his parents' house, he at least doesn't have to worry about what to eat for 3 meals a day. Really, that's a good relationship. Then I'll let your mother clean up now. Hang up first. Upon hearing this, Lin Tianhang immediately exclaimed with immense joy. Then without hesitation, he hung up the phone. Over the years, I have been away and have neglected my parents' feelings. Putting down his phone and thinking of his father's happy expression, Lin Zhe said thoughtfully. Over the years, he has been busy with work. Whenever I have free time, I also hang out with Yi Xinyan. The number of times I have gone home is also very small. I feel a bit aloof towards my parents. Fortunately, there is still a little sister at home. Otherwise, I'm afraid the second elder will be even more lonely. Lin Zhe, please do me a favor. I have a crush on a bag that costs over 20,000 yuan. I really want it. Can you buy me one? Lin Zhe just hung up on the phone. Yi Xinyan suddenly ran over and pointed to a picture on her phone, saying, "Buying a bag again." Upon hearing this, Lin Zhe frowned. He bought no less than 4 or 5 bags for Yi Xinyan. Each one, there is no less than 10,000. Of course, this is not the point, the key is that Yi Xinyan's speed of asking for money and gifts is becoming increasingly frequent. This made him feel like he was an ATM. I just asked for the 9 price payment before. Now I need to buy a bag worth over 20,000 yuan. Too frequent. What does it mean? The last time I bought a bag was 3 months ago. It's been a long time, okay. Are you not loving me anymore and not even buying me a bag? Upon hearing that Lin Zhe did not agree, Yi Xinyan immediately became angry. No, could you give me some reason? I just subconsciously asked, what are you angry about? Lin Zhe has been manipulated by Yi Xinyan for a bit inexplicable. It's really frustrating to get angry all the time. Okay, you're starting to dislike me now, right? Why don't we just break up? Seeing that Lin Zhe didn't coax himself, he even talked back to himself. Yi Xinyan immediately began to be unreasonable. Please, from which sentence did you hear that I despise you? Also, can we not break up easily? Do you really think that I dare not agree to break up with you? At this moment, Lin Zhe really collapsed. Recently, Yi Xinyan's temper has become increasingly peculiar. He is completely unpredictable. So, at this moment, he also has a temper. Aren't you breaking up? Okay, I'll help you. Okay, that's what you said. Then let's break up. Now please leave my house immediately. Yi Xinyan took a deep breath and then said to Lin Zhe with an extremely angry expression. Even in the end, they had to drive Lin Zhe out of this house. She is really angry now. It's okay if you don't coax yourself. Surprisingly, you dare to attack me. Sure enough, what was said online is all right. No man is reliable. Breaking up is no problem. However, I feel like you've forgotten something. Lin Zhe frowned, thinking that Yi Xinyan's breakup was just a joke. Now it seems that she is serious. Since that's the case, then he doesn't have much to cling to anymore. What's going on? Lin Zhe agreed to break up, causing Yi Xinyan to panic in her heart. However, stubborn as she was, she didn't want to show weakness in front of Lin Zhe. So, when asking questions, they are also particularly tough. I paid to rent this house. So if you want to leave, it should also be you leaving. Not me. Lin Zhe pointed to the house and said coldly. If, just now, Yi Xinyan was willing to be soft. He just went downhill and didn't mention the breakup. Unexpectedly, Yi Xinyan had to drive herself away. This made him even more angry. The house is rented by me, and if you want to leave, you have to leave. Since I have chosen to break up, then there will be no relationship between us, and there is no need to disregard our old feelings. Besides, they have to drive themselves out, and if I still take care of old relationships. That's so damn, it's too licking a dog. Is Lin Zhe like this person? No. Humph, just leave now. Do you think it's rare for me to stay here? Yi Xinyan gritted her teeth and said. Then, I went back to my room to pack my luggage. From now on, the road will face up to the sky, each one taking their own side. Lin Zhe did not resist this either. He has really had enough of Yi Xinyan's strange temper lately. It's good to split it up. I don't believe it anymore, I can't find a better girlfriend. New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. 3 things to do when reading. Read, collect, and reward. Chapter 7. Surprising Classmates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong. That morning, Lin Zhe received a message. Are you there? Upon opening it, it was sent by a college classmate. After careful recollection, he finally remembered who this person was. Zai, Chaoming, what's up? This classmate's name is Yang Chaoming, and he is a marginalized figure in college. I didn't even join the university group. Besides, 2 years after graduation, he never attended any of the gatherings of his college classmates. According to others, it belongs to the category of people who are not social. And he doesn't have much contact with Lin Zhe on a regular basis. So, Lin Zhe is very curious and doesn't know why Yang Chaoming is looking for him now. I heard you've been short of money lately. I have 50,000 here, you can take it as an emergency first. Soon, Yang Chaoming sent a message again. In addition to these messages, there is also a transfer of 50,000. Seeing this 50,000 transfer, Lin Zhe was stunned. His expression became somewhat complicated. He really didn't expect that Yang Chaoming would lend him money. And, this loan is 50,000 yuan. After all, during his 4 years in college, there were not many opportunities for him to interact with Yang Chaoming. Think about Su Tao and Zhao Lei, who have always had a good relationship with themselves, and their evasive attitude. Thinking about Yang Chaoming, who had never been in contact with him, he was willing to lend himself 50,000 yuan. Lin Zhe suddenly understood that without comparison, there is no harm. Why? Lin Zhe did not accept the money, but asked a rhetorical question. You may have forgotten that you once helped me in college. For you, it may be a trivial matter. But for me, that help was enough to make me remember it for a lifetime. Soon, Yang Chaoming replied to him. Looking at the few messages sent by Yang Chaoming, Lin Zhe fell into contemplation. After careful recollection, he already knew what he had helped Yang Chaoming. However, that matter was indeed insignificant to him. So, he had already forgotten. If it weren't for Yang Chaoming mentioning it, he wouldn't have remembered it. What he didn't expect was that this seemingly insignificant incident left a lasting impression on Yang Chaoming for a lifetime. Even when Su Tao and others accused him of being a scammer, they were willing to lend him 50,000 yuan. Will Yang Chaoming never imagine that he may not have the ability to repay when the time comes? No, he can think of it. And the reason why I am still willing to borrow it. That means that Yang Chaoming even had a plan to borrow or repay this 50,000 yuan. This is not the point. The key point is that Lin Zhe is well aware that Yang Chaoming's family conditions are not good. This 50,000 yuan is likely to be most of his savings. Thinking of this, Lin Zhe was moved in his heart. Being a good person still pays off. Chaoming, thank you. Come out and have a meal together when you have time. Lin Zhe smiled and accepted the 50,000 yuan. Then invite young Chao Ming. For Lin Zhe, who currently has only a few thousand yuan, he really needs this 50,000 yuan now. Although he can ask his parents at home. But since young Chao Ming has it on his side, why bother with it? In addition, Lin Zhe also intentionally accepted this 50,000 yuan. Because accepting this 50,000 yuan also means that Lin Zhe has accepted this favor. After a month, I developed myself. He has reason to repay young Chao Ming's kindness. Lin Zhe is just such a person. He always remembers any kindness from others in his heart. And it will also repay the kindness in several ways. Of course, he is also a person who holds grudges. If it's just a small matter, he doesn't mind too much. But like Su Tao and Zhao Lei before, they arranged themselves without authorization, claiming to be scammers, and even promoted their actions. He will never forget. In this lifetime, old age and death without interaction are the lightest. Actually, sometimes he can't figure it out. Why did Su Tao and Zhao Lei do this? It's not surprising that Wang-Hongyu kicked himself out of the group so actively. Because during his college years, his relationship with Wang-Hongyu became strained. Is the reason related to Yi Xinyan? This guy also liked Yi Xinyan back then. However, Lin Zhe was the first to take the lead. So, I have always held a grudge in my heart. Forget it, why are you thinking so much? Anyway, from now on, these two people have nothing to do with me either. Maybe not recently. There are quite a few things going on in the store, so we need to work overtime all the time. After a while, when I'm not busy, I'll treat you to a meal. It took about 5 minutes for Yang Qiaoming's message to be sent back. It can also be seen from this how busy Yang Qiaoming is. If I could send a message to Lin Zhe now, I would definitely have taken some time to do so. Okay, let's talk about it when you're not busy. Also, thank you very much for your 50,000 yuan. Lin Zhe was taken aback for a moment, then thanked him again. Being able to take time out of one's busy schedule and lend money to oneself. Yang Qiaoming, it's really interesting. He recognized this classmate. No need. I'm busy first. Let's talk when we have time. For Lin Zhe's gratitude, Yang Qiaoming only replied calmly. Okay, chat when you have time. Lin Zhe no longer disturbed Yang Qiaoming. Everything, let's talk about it next time we meet. Mom, I'm back. Dragging his suitcase, Lin Zhe returned to his parents' house. You've come back to the calculations, kid. Coincidentally, your uncle and your uncle are also here. Go ahead and say hello to them. After giving Lin Zhe a pair of slippers, Wu Xiaowei carefully examined him. After seeing that Lin Zhe had not had a bad time, he nodded in satisfaction. As a mother, when her son is away, she also worries about whether her son will be doing well or not. Uncle and uncle. How did they come? Lin Zhe was taken aback and asked somewhat unexpectedly. It's not because of you. I heard you went bankrupt selling your house and car. Come and take a look at you. Wu Xiaowei rolled her eyes. I'm going, should I exaggerate like this? How come even my uncle and uncle know about this? Lin Zhe is really speechless. Once again, I have seen what it means to keep good news from going out and spread bad news thousands of miles. Alright, it's elsewhere here. Go and say hello to your uncle and them. Wu Xiaowei patted Lin Zhe's shoulder and urged him. Okay, I got it. Lin Zhe said, put on his slippers, and walked towards the living room. After entering the living room, he found his father Lin Tianheng, Uncle Wu Xiaokong, and Uncle Lin Tianyuan drinking tea and chatting. Dad, Uncle, I'm back. Lin Zhe walked to the living room with a smile on his face and greeted the three elders one by one. Xiao Zhe, come back. Come, sit down and talk. Upon seeing Lin Zhe return, Wu Xiaokong immediately waved to him and patted the seat next to him. Lin Zhe nodded and sat down in front of Wu Xiaokong. New book upload, seeking flowers, seeking monthly tickets, seeking evaluation tickets. Feilu's novel, Fei wants you to look good. Chapter 8. Am I supposed to be taken care of? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What's wrong with you, kid? Well done, why did you go bankrupt? And even sold the house and car to offset the debt. After Lin Zhe sat down, Wu Xiaokong frowned and said. Although the tone seems to be blaming. But Lien knew that his uncle was caring for him. Uncle, there are some things I don't say much about now. After a while, you will know. As for selling cars and houses, it's not about paying off debts. Lin Zhe is too lazy to explain. When I came to my uncle's place, selling my own car and house turned out to be a debt repayment. This rumor is really unreliable. As for the matter of speculation in futures, let's not talk about it for now. Let's keep this matter a secret for now. I'm still hiding with your uncle, kid. Shouldn't it be a fight? Wu Xiaokong shook his head in tears and laughter. Hee, you always have to have a little secret of your own, don't you? Lin Zhe smiled and said. Okay, then I won't say much more. Originally, I came to ask if you were willing to go into the clothing business with me. Now it seems that you have your own plans. Wu Xiaokong said helplessly. After hearing the news of Lin Zhe selling his house, car, and debt. His first thought was to give his nephew a hand. After all, he's just such a nephew. As the old saying goes, my nephew is already half the size. But now it seems that I am too worried. Although Lin Zhe did not explain anything. But Wu Xiaokong knows that news about bankruptcy, debt repayment, and so on is definitely fake. If it's true, Lin Zhe couldn't have remained so calm. Time has passed bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, it has been half a month since Lin Zhe bought garlic futures. These days, Lin Zhe has been staying at his parents' house. Stare at your phone every day. As expected by Lin Zhe in the future. In half a month, the price of garlic has increased from the initial 83 cents per kilogram to the current $2.80 per kilogram. This also means that if Lin Zhe takes action now, he can immediately receive over $1 billion. However, Lin Zhe is not that foolish. The price of $2.8 per kilogram is already very high. However, Lin Zhe knows that the highest price of garlic will rise to $3.6 per kilogram. Don't be fooled by the difference of only $0.8 per kilogram. But in front of 45.18 million kilograms of bonds. The price difference of $0.8 is equivalent to a difference of over $30 million. More than $30 million is equivalent to 200 million soft coins. No matter how big Lin Zhe's heart is, it is impossible for these 200 million soft girl coins to slip away in vain. Ding dong. While Lin Zhe was staring at the garlic price trend chart, he received a message. Upon opening it, it turned out to be a message from yuan.Xu, a former high school classmate. This makes Lin Zhe very curious. He and yuan.Xu seem to have been out of touch for a long time. It's been about 3 years now. During high school and when I first started college. He has a good relationship with yuan.Xu, even if the university is not in the same school, he often sends messages. But 3 years ago, I don't know why. The frequency of messages sent by yuan.Xu and him is decreasing. Finally, I didn't contact them directly. At that time, Lin Zhegang and Yi Xinyan had established a relationship, so they didn't care either. It has been 3 years now, why did you suddenly send a message at this time? Not even she knows the news of her bankruptcy, right? This rumor is too exaggerated. Thinking of this possibility, Lin Zhe had a feeling of being unable to laugh or cry. Currently, the information has been opened. However, what Lin Zhe didn't expect was that the message sent by yuan.Xu was not asking him whether he would break through or not. But rather ask yourself if you broke up with Yi Xinyan. This makes Lin Zhe feel a bit strange. I heard that you broke up with your current girlfriend. Is it true? This is a message from yuan.Xu. How did you know? After thinking for a moment, Lin Zhe asked in reverse. To be honest, yuan.Xu was surprised to find out that she had broken up with Yi Xinyan. After all, I haven't had much contact in 3 years. Anyway, I just know. I just want to confirm now, did you really break up? For Lin Zhe's message, yuan.Xu almost replied in seconds. However, what made Lin Zhe somewhat helpless was that yuan.Xu's question seemed somewhat persistent. Anyway, hold on to yourself and ask if you have broken up. Yeah, we broke up. What's wrong? Lin Zhe had no intention of concealing his breakup. Believe in the fact that you broke up, those classmates in college probably already know about it. So, concealing is not necessary. Why did she break up with you? Why break up with you? Just because you went bankrupt. Looking at the 3 questions sent by yuan.Xu, Lin Zhe was a bit confused. Why do you always think that when I break up, she is even angrier than me? No. It must be my illusion. After all, we haven't been in touch for 3 years. Can we not mention bankruptcy? Why, but everyone I know says I'm bankrupt. I broke up with him not because we couldn't go bankrupt. But it's because recently, Yi Xinyan has become increasingly unreasonable, and being with her feels exhausting. So the hand of talent. Lin Zhe said somewhat helplessly. He broke up with Yi Xinyan just because she was too noisy and unreasonable. He agreed to break up only when he couldn't bear it anymore. As a result, it reached someone else's ear. Yi Xinyan broke up because she went bankrupt. Lin Zhe once again witnessed the power of rumors. Of course, he doesn't want to mention Yi Xinyan anymore. Anyway, we've already broken up, so there's nothing more to say. Okay, I won't mention bankruptcy or Yi Xinyan. How are you doing now? How much debt is still owed outside? Do you want me to help? It took a while for yuan.Xu to send these messages. She seemed to know that Lin Zhe didn't want to mention his girlfriend anymore. So, let's not mention Yi Xinyan anymore. But instead asked about Lin Zhe's debt issue. I don't owe any debts. Lin Zhe replied with some confusion, both crying and laughing. What does this girl think? She sometimes asks me if I broke up, and sometimes she says she wants to help me pay off the debt. Why are you so enthusiastic? Lin Zhe really can't figure it out. They are all bankrupt, the house and car have been sold, and you still say you don't owe any debts. I'm already an old classmate, you don't need to be polite to me. 1 million is not enough. If that's enough, I'll call you now. If it's not enough, just give me a number. However, the message sent by yuan.Xu next made Lin Zhe even more confused. Sleeping trough, what's the situation? 1 million at a time. Ask if it's enough. Is this the rhythm of taking care of me? So you are like this, yuan.Xu. I only consider you a classmate, but you want to take care of me. Begging for flowers. Feilu's novel, Fei wants you to look good.